basically, this won't break in half, but I've done my best. It's unwatchable. It is basically not worth watching anyway. Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. I'm very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching unless you're Zack or Deb, and I can give you a high five. Please, can't the Snyders adopt me? This is massive. This is unprecedented news, everyone. I look like a maniac. I feel like a maniac. I watched the Man of Steel watch party for 2.5 hours, not knowing if this was going to happen. Then at the end, one of the fans was saying on Twitter, I've never wanted Man of Steel to end so quickly in my life. And, you know, I'm going to rewatch it tonight. I'm going to stay up and watch BVS and MOS together. This is unprecedented. So he's got all these fans, right, on Zoom. Cavill turns up, Henry Cavill, Superman himself. What about when he asked Zack about Jor-El's artificial intelligence, if he's capable of love? Brilliant. Even the guy playing our Superman's a freaking fan, right? We were expecting the others, but there seemed to be I think it was more vital that Henry turned up. But anyway, I haven't even mentioned the fact Zack Snyder's Justice League will be on exclusively on HBO Max in 2021 because there's still work to do. This makes sense. We've waited 2.5 years. I think we can wait for another year or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. 2021 on HBO Max, very important now. And not only is that so exciting, after all 2.5 years of fighting, hashtagging, thinking it would never happen, to put these people back where they belonged. Deb said it the best, you know, Zack had a vision for these characters, and it's a shame. But Zack Snyder during that watch party, Zack Snyder was talking like a man that had the keys back to the kingdom. That is how it feels. It feels like Mr. Stanky, right? And I forgot his first name. Basically, the big boss over at AT&T. It looks like he's made this happen. He understands there's a following, there's an intrigue, and even the controversial fashion kind of works for them, right? This is bad news for Disney. This is bad news for Netflix. HBO Max have got something big to show next year. They may not have this on launch, but that doesn't matter, right? Because I'm telling you something. I thought we were going to get a trailer there, but we didn't. There's going to be a trailer. He's going to cut a trailer. That's for sure. And that's going to be a massive event. I don't think anyone can be unhappy because they have to wait for this film. Wow, I'm so happy for Zack. I'm so happy for Deb. And, of course, equally as important, I'm so happy for us. This fandom is the most beautiful, stubborn, battle-worthy family to be a part of. I want to thank John Aaron Garza, Chris Wong Svensson, Davey Pienaar, but not just the elite members of this kind of thing. I want to thank, of course, Subversive Reviews. He's absolutely fantastic. Great lad. I'm really happy for him, even though he's getting more subs than me. But hey, you know, I'm someone who likes people to do well. So I'll just have to stay on 850 and 50 views, which I appreciate every one of those 50 views, by the way. I am not underselling that. I love you all. I love the interactions. I don't want this video to go on for so long, but I don't want to understate how massive this moment is. It is Christmas Day. It's something we've been wishing and hoping for, and you're kind of scared that it's going to be underwhelming. It is not underwhelming. When I saw that poster, the HBO Max, Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021, I cheered because I knew they can't take it away from us now. They understand now. There's money in this man. This is the George Lucas of this generation, but he's a good man the way he was talking to the fans. He wants to please us. We're like his kids in a way, right? We've been together, just a genuine family who have adopted children, you know, from homes that they probably wouldn't have even survived if they remained in. This is an amazing couple, a talented director. Everything about these people is so un-Hollywood. When you think about Ray Fisher, the backing of Zack Snyder. You know, Zack imprints on people. He imprinted on me. When I say can the Snyders adopt me, I mean it. I'm 47 years old. I don't care. I'll be their bloody servant. I love those guys. They're amazing. And isn't it nice, for once, in this industry, that the good guy wins? The good guy wins, right? When I remember what was said by Grace Randolph about him being a sexist because of the way the Amazonian women were dressed, it was heartbreaking to see the state of what they did to his movie. It wasn't his movie, but they put his name on it. Heartbreaking. Do you blame him for not watching the Justice League, right? I don't. I couldn't watch it. And I know that Richard Donner said he couldn't watch Richard Lester's version of Superman 2. You know, when you pour blood, sweat and tears into a piece of art, I know what that's like. It's really, really difficult. But wow, everyone, after 2.5 years of battling and fighting, not only with the elite journalists and with Warner Brothers, but also with ourselves, because that's how much it matters. And you know what's fucking brilliant right now? All those people who said this was never going to happen, the campiers and all the others who enjoyed our pain, enjoyed the fact that a good man was destroyed because they didn't like his movie, because he didn't make, you know, a cookie cutter movie, right? How dare he not be like what they were doing on the MCU? How dare he have a film with deep cuts? Him sitting there describing Man of Steel, talking about, you know, he hasn't got a script for Supergirl, but he would love to kind of bring in other members of the Superman family. And Cavill's sitting there. Obviously, the deal is done. Obviously, he's still Superman. Look, as far as I'm concerned, Zack Snyder is back in charge. And if Zack Snyder's back in charge, we will see the haircut as well. Again, exclusive to HBO Max. This has got to be fixed. Now, Patty Jenkins said something interesting in a report I read, I think, was it SX, whatever it is, right? And she said she's a fan of Zack Snyder. She liked what he was doing, but now DC are going down this standalone route. Forget it. Basically, let's look at Aquaman, over $1 billion. Why do you think, whatever we think of the Justice League, the film I just went like that to, right? He was brilliant in it, right? Aquaman was brilliant. If not for his appearance and how good he was himself in that film, Aquaman doesn't make over $1 billion. We are in the era of continuity where people want to see crossovers. It doesn't have to be like the MCU just because it's, you know, that was Zack's plan, to have this big connective universe, but not like the MCU, like the DCEU, the Zack Snyder way. This is what people want to see. You know, we want the mainstream to come in. We do it Zack's way, but we have crossovers and the lot. We can have standalone films as well. But wow, it's been ever since the rumours broke. I'm losing my voice here, but I don't care. But ever since the rumours broke earlier this week on Monday, I haven't been able to sleep. I haven't been able to eat. Everyone thinks I'm a loser, I'm a lunatic. They don't get it. This is so important because I remember what it was like coming out that cinema. The boring story I've told you a million times, and I'm not going to tell you again. Vero is a pain up the bum to get this streaming scene. They tried their best. It was a lot better, but I had it on the big screen on YouTube, which was great. I thought some good fans would do that because I know we all want to support Zack and Vero, but at the end of the day, if they can't do it, they can't do it, and we can't all watch it. So it is what it is. But we've done it. We've achieved it. I am going to be up all night. I'm happy to talk to the fans, my fellow fans. I can't wait. As I say, we've waited so long. We'll wait. He's going to go back now and sort this movie out and make it the total vision of what it should be. And that's brilliant. Also, that means Warner Brothers and Stanky over at AT&T are giving the man a budget to go and finish this film. Again, this is massive. Again, what the elite journalists said would never happen. They are upset. They're calling us toxic. They're calling us toxic because they didn't get their own way. They didn't win. They lost. The villains lost. right? And the heroes, us and Zack Snyder, won. Apparently, all Zack's fans, us, are toxic, horrible people. We're not. We're people with families, dreams, hearts. We love what the man did in his first 2 movies. It was unique. It was different. It was compelling. That's the kind of movies he makes. That's the kind of movies we like him to make. So as far as I'm concerned, Zack Snyder is running the DCEU again. And if he's not, after the reaction to his Justice League, he will be. This is all very interesting. And where does this leave Wonder Woman 1984? Is it going to be the cut where they change the canon? What are they going to do now? Because if you're letting him do this, you're letting him back in the door and you're giving him the keys. These are things we could talk about tomorrow in tomorrow's DCEU Daily. This is going to take a couple of hours to upload anyway. But I want you to know I appreciate all of you. I'm so happy. I love Zack. I love Deb. I love A Man of Steel. I love BVS. I love Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman. They were part of his vision, right? And everyone in those roles now was cast by him, right? And to Zachary Levi, I love you, Zack. I loved you in Chuck. And I love you as Shazam. And I want to keep on seeing you in Shazam. But you shouldn't have made a joke out of our dreams and Zack Snyder's pain. And I think, you know, you talk about us being toxic, but I do think you definitely should go on Twitter and apologise, because he may be your boss now, right? So you need to be careful there. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to have a cigarette and celebrate. I'll be back tomorrow with tomorrow's DCEU Daily. Unprecedented scenes, an amazing historic moment where actually fans were able to turn a situation around. The consumer never wins these things. But somehow, with the help of the intelligent Zack Snyder, who didn't move on, by the way, James Mangold, you knew nothing about the situation, and another one who came in like a bull in a china shop talking absolute nonsense. Again, apologise to Snyder, apologise to the fans. We are not toxic, but when you trigger us, we react, because this means something to us. And to you, it may just be a film, but to us, and Zack Snyder, it means a hell of a lot more than that. We don't kick you in the private parts over your dreams and aspirations. Don't kick us in the private parts. Because at the end of the day, for some people, this is all they've got. They're living alone. Superman, Batman, you know, all these characters mean a lot to us. Some people have got jack shit, man. Nobody. All they've got is Zack Snyder, Deb Snyder, the DCEU. Do you understand? Do you understand? Not everyone can be a wealthy elite with lots of people falling over them, right? You know, there's a lot of lonely people, and movies and storytelling are very, very important. And you elites, with your put-downs and your arrogance and your blue ticks, are despicable, when you all owe Zack Snyder and the fans an apology. But you're not going to do that because you're not humble enough, right? But it doesn't matter. We won. It's not about winning, but we did win, right? It's not about winning. It's not. This was about righting a wrong. This was wrong. Simple as that. Sujihara's gone. I want to thank Ann Sarnoff. I want to thank everyone at AT&T. We are grateful to you. We really are, and we respect you, and we are going to support HBO Max. I will make sure of that I mention HBO Max every day, and, you know, tell people to subscribe to it, because what you've done is listen to your customers. And years ago, I used to work in a supermarket, and I hated my customers, but I still respected them and gave them the best meat and the best stuff, and, you know, made sure they felt better about themselves after they left the store I worked in. That's what public service is all about. The entertainment industry is a public service, right? Simple as that. Like, share and subscribe. I could talk all night. Comment down below. The Snyder Cut has been released, but not yet. But in 2021 on HBO Max, it will be released. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm throwing you a big kiss. See you on tomorrow's DCEU Daily. How excited I am to record that. Have a good night.